are all most welcome to Isunga Conservation Area, but also park headquarters where we are now. When we talk about Kibale Conservation Area, we talk about a landscape where we have 4 protected areas. Starting with Kibale National Park here where we are. We also have Katonga Wildlife Reserve. We have Toro Semliki Wildlife Reserve and Semliki National Park. So those are the 4 protected areas that constitute Kibale Conservation Area at whose headquarters at Isunga, here where we are. So specifically talking about Kibale National Park, it's a very, very important protected area for wildlife conservation. First gazetted as a forest reserve in the 1930s and went through different statuses until 1991 when it was gazetted as a national park. It is a moist evergreen forest like you can see, tropical forest, but it also has a diversity of habitats and microhabitats, including the savanna, especially in the south, the wetlands, the lakes, rivers, among others. So because of this diversity of the habitat, it is also home to very many species of plants and animals. It is important to note that we manage the national park under usually a 5-year general management plan. And we have a number of programs under which we implement a number of activities. So the park is generally very, very, very rich, very diverse, with the 13 primate species so far registered, including the famous chimpanzees that many of you have got a lot of interest in. And actually, much of the tourism that we boast of in Kibale National Park is about ape tourism and specifically chimpanzee tracking. The park is so big, 795 square kilometers in area. So yes, and as a result, we've had our numbers, tourist numbers going up because of how we manage these, the tourism, the chimpanzees that are the biggest attraction for tourists to this national park. The last census we had conducted in around 2019 gave us 1,001 chimpanzees in Kibale National Park. But we see the numbers even going up. Last year we conducted another census and we can see an addition of about 400 more chimpanzees.
You're most welcome to Kibale National Park. I'm Moses Turinawe, Senior Tourism Officer here at Kibale. Most welcome, and here we do a number of activities, including chimpanzee tracking, chimpanzee habituation experience, nature walks, and night walks.
I know you have a tight schedule. That's why I'm pushing you to be in, so that we start early, we end early. We are also cognizant of the weather changes, and we wish, since you are visitors, not to get rain when you are inside. But before, maybe I wish you the best of the day and introduce you to the one who is going to take charge of you. I want also to appreciate the media fraternity here, that you are doing a big work for us in terms of conserving this Kibale National Park. And we expect good on your side after this trip.
I'm so glad to see you all here. Thank you for the work done. I'm sure you first went to the headquarters, you met our chief warden, who gave you all the information you needed to have. And now you're here at Kanyanchu Vista Information Center for an activity called chimpanzee tracking.
And I take this honor to welcome everyone to Kanyanchu Tourism Hub, a starting point in Kibale Forested National Park. And this park covers an area of 795 square kilometers, and it was established as a forest reserve in the 1940s. Then later in 1993, it was elevated to the level of a national park. And the reason was to conserve a variety of biodiversity that includes 372 bird species, including the endemics of the Albertine Rift Valley region. So the green-breasted peter is found here, and it is an endemic bird in this area. So we also offer birding as an activity, looking for that specific species of bird. And the activity starts very early in the morning. At 6:45, you're already in the forest, searching and waiting for its display. And the moment you miss the display, then chances of finding it are limited, because it is an isolated bird that likes quiet places, and we always track it using its display. In birds, males are the ones that attract females. That's why they have got the beautiful and shining feathers to attract females. And how do they attract females? By spraying off both primary and secondary feathers. So in birds, if a male does not know how to impress the female by spraying off the feathers and dancing, then chances of having a female are also limited. We have got 350 tree species in this forest. So botanists, this is good destination for you. And that's what we will go discussing with you to see how organisms will interact together within their ecosystem. Then we have got over 21 reptile species, and having the biggest African snake, which is the African rock python. But don't worry, I know most people don't like reptiles, but when you look at their behaviors, makes you comfortable that you are going to enjoy without any problem, without any obstacle. First of all, most of them use the vibration. They have got poor sight. So how many are we that will remain on the way waiting for us until we come? So by the time we reach, it will have taken a different direction. That's one. Two, they hunt using also the vibration. If they see that the vibration is too big for the prey that is coming on their way, then they will not wait for that time to come. And on top of that, the guide is always on the lead to show you and to tell you what is going to take place next. So feel free, relax, and enjoy. One of the rules is the face mask. We expect every client that go to see the chimpanzees to have a face mask within the 1 hour we spend with the chimpanzees to avoid transmission of zoonotic diseases from both sides. Genetically, we are close to each other, which means their immunity and our immunity can respond very fast if one side has a disease. So to conserve them for today, tomorrow, and the future generation, we always put on face masks. I hope everyone will cooperate and do the same. We have got a recommendable distance of 8 meters, but sometimes they can also reduce the distance and come closer to you. So in case it happens, please don't run away. So let it come, and then after it has settled, then you give it a recommendable distance, and the guides will be advising you on how to do it. In the forest, we don't make a lot of noise talking on top of our voices. So you minimize on the talking so that we can listen to other things within the forest. We expect a lot. Have got different vocalization, over 30, but meaning different things. So the one you have been hearing moving, hitting the trees, calling each other, that's what we call parenthood. And parenthood is done in long distance calls when there is abundance of food, when there is movement, and when there is need for every member. They will keep doing that so that every member comes and understands where they are going next. So as we were following them, they were doing it more and more, and you saw more chimpanzees following each other. As they were parenthooding, calling each other, then they changed the call to another call, which means we are here, there is food, let's eat, let's eat, let's eat. So it was the different call that they changed to. So right now, they are trying to call each other, they are trying to force them to move. That's why they are trying to hit the tree and calling each other that there is food. So every call has a different meaning, and for them, they understand it better.
So this is one of the forest tree species, and we actually call where this tree is the forest hospital to most of the wild animals. So we see chimpanzees and other primates coming to visit this tree, not purposely for food, but for some medication. We've seen when chimps are not feeling okay, they come visit this tree, and it bears some of these fruits, and these fruits act as medicine to most of these chimpanzees. If a chimp is coughing or not feeling okay with some fever, because chimps get the sicknesses that we do get as humans. So we will see chimpanzees coming to visit this tree, and they pick these fruits. And this tree is called Wabugia ugandensis, and it treats more than 20 complications in chimps together with humans as well. Because you've heard during time of COVID-19, this was the tree that was behind a drug called Covidex that was manufactured by one of the professors called Patrick Ogwang from MUST, which is a university, Mbarara University of Science and Technology. So if one is coughing, has some fever, one general body weakness, some pain, so you pick each and every part of this tree tastes like chili. The fruits, the bark, the leaves, the roots all taste like chili, and that's why it has got some of the medicinal aspects within the forest. So some primates and other living organisms visit the tree for medication. And we get some other tree species, like we have wild lemon, which is used as an aphrodisiac. And chimps also get quite old. So in terms of sexual behaviors, so some individuals also need to get some energy like we do as we keep aging. We also see them picking some leaves of certain trees and plants, like we get another tree over there called the Ficus exasperata. They basically feed or eat the leaves of this tree. So the tree, if you touch its leaves, the leaves taste like sandpaper. So when chimps are feeding on this tree, not as food but for medicine, and it's used as a dewormer, they pick the leaves, then the leaves are folded together like this, then they chew a little bit, then swallow these chewed leaves. So when these folded leaves get in the ileum or the small intestines of these guys, then lots of worms will attach themselves on the rough leaf. Then when chimps are releasing poo, then the poo comes mixed with these leaves with lots of worms inside these foldings and around the leaves. There are quite many medicinal plants and trees in the forest. Otherwise, if we are to talk about everything, you need more than a month to be here to know each and everything. Thank you.
And today's activity, which was chimpanzee trekking, has been very interesting and educational for me. I have learnt a lot. I've been reading about the Chimpanzee Civil War and the different articles that were online. But today I got to witness the chimpanzees up close, and there is no civil war that is happening. It is just normal behavior from these chimpanzees, how they communicate. Yeah, just them enjoying their environment, really.
Several times I've been tracking chimpanzees, and more or less you find something new every time you come. And of course, they're not like gorillas, if I may say, because a gorilla can sit down for maybe 30 minutes as it eats or whatever. But with chimpanzees, you have to track, you have to walk alongside them. And you know, it requires adrenaline, it requires lots of, some energy. But that's also refreshing because we are within an ecosystem which is so fresh. That is the environment, the forest is, and the air and everything is so natural. So, the experience was very good walking beside these chimpanzees. They do a lot of stuff. Sometimes they're like playing, eating, ingesting and everything. The experience was worthwhile.
I came ready thinking maybe I was going to be in covers and all this, but I was much shocked that the life here in the park is way different. It was my first time to do the chimpanzee tracking. It was very nice. The sounds from these animals, as the guides told us, different experiences, different sounds, and how these animals are close to human beings in regards to how they survive, how they work in teams and how they live in families, they live in groups. It was an amazing adventure.
No, it's a very big statement to say it's a civil war among chimpanzees. Like what we have witnessed. I may say, someone may say maybe this is a one-time off. No, I've been here several times, so many times. I mean, several times tracking chimpanzees. And sometimes they tap each other. They are like fighting amongst themselves, maybe for some minutes in a day or in a week. That can be translated into a civil war. And like any other community that is growing big, they start, arguing over resources like, water, food, sometimes females, or mating rights, which culminates into these kind of infightings. And let alone some guys can decide, hey, let's go look for our own environment somewhere else, And they split. It doesn't translate into like a huge civil war like they usually say. So everything has been so peaceful like always.
We are here also trying to find out the behavior of what was called, the civil war. Chimpanzees are generally territorial animals as well, and what leads to what they call civil war is sometimes fighting for resources like food, water, and maybe also fighting for a mate.
This is just a normal behavior of chimpanzees. As you might know, chimpanzees are very, very related to human beings in terms of the genes, sharing sometimes up to about 98.8% of the genes with humans. So many of the things which we do as humans are also done by chimpanzees. So the so-called civil war is actually a normal behavior for apes, for chimpanzees. Chimpanzees also develop conflict, just like humans also can develop conflict. It's not that this conflict necessarily is bad, but it is also part and parcel of the behavior of certain species, humans, but chimpanzees as well. And this conflict can be about many resources. They can conflict over space, where to live and stay. They can conflict over water, to drink. They can conflict over food in the national park, but they also can conflict over mates for purposes of reproduction. So in such conflicts, certainly, sometimes, of course, fatalities happen, and which is purely natural. You cannot avoid it. That is how nature is. Sometimes in the forest, they say survival of the fittest. So these conflicts happen. And it's not that this so-called war happens or happened in 1 hour or in 1 day or at the same time. No, it is a phenomenon that we have observed over the years that chimpanzees also living in their communities, like we call them, you find one community having a conflict with the other over some of these resources which I've just mentioned. But most importantly is that it is a very, very normal practice. It's a natural practice and has got no negative effect, first and foremost, on the viability of the population of the chimpanzees. It has no negative effect on the population because over the years, even when that conflict has existed, we have seen the numbers of chimpanzees, the population of the chimpanzees actually growing. We have also seen the revenue, the number of tourists first and foremost that are coming to the national park also growing. In 2022-2023, we had about 17,000 tourists coming to the national park. In 2024, we had about 19,660, an increment of about 2,000. And last financial year, 2024-2025, we had 20,000 and about 773. So you can actually see the trend is progressing positively in terms of the numbers of tourists that we receive, suggesting therefore that what people are talking about as conflict or civil war does not necessarily have any negative effect, both on tourism, but also on the population of the chimpanzees themselves. In fact, you can also look at the revenues. The revenues are also increasing. the revenues from tourism. So this is purely a natural process, a natural phenomenon, and that is how we need to treat it. That's what happens in every population.
Good Day TV, transforming your life.